Thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us. Obviously, an extension of Hemel TV screen. We wanted just to get, a little bit from you guys because we've not really interviewed anyone during the season. So this will go out to all the fans who check into the screen tomorrow. So I wanted to start a fairly easy one straight in. So what I want you to do is all think about your past, present, best starting five. And I'm going to come to each of you for your position on who you would have play. If you could have anyone play from history, from right now, who would play your position? And we should come up with a pretty awesome team. So obviously, place to start. I think I'll start with Bodo with point guard.
He's like any player in history, I think, like NBA, any player in
NBA?
history. Right.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Probably,
I'll go with probably Kyrie Irving.
Okay, I'm going to come to Mike next. Shooting guard. Who's playing there?
My favorite player, Black Mamba. Sorry, MJ.
Levi, I'm going to get you to pick the small forward.
Okay, in this scenario, I think I'm going to have to go with MJ.
You're going MJ.
All right.
He's got to get in the team, though, right? He's got to be in there somewhere.
He's just a great player. He's not necessarily a three-man, but he has to be in the five.
Teo, power forward for me.
Well, a lot of people probably think my favorite player is LeBron James, but it's actually not. So I'm gonna pick my guy who's he's a 3-4, Carmelo Anthony, 1-5, 1-5.
My guy, bro. Yes, people don't respect him, bro. Get me mad.
But he's a goat. He's a legend.
Greg,
Denver
big center.
or New?
What are we going for?
For center?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with the dream, Hakeem Olajuwon. He's different.
Good pick.
Cool. So next one, a bit of background from all you guys. I mean, obviously, some of you are new this season. Some of you have been here a fair amount of time. But if you could just give us a little bit of background, 1 minute, 30 seconds a minute of where you've come from, from basketball, from playing young to where you are now when you've got to Storm. So your journey to Storm. Bode, again, start with you, please.
So I started playing when I was about in year 10 in secondary school. I moved from South London to East London earlier, and the in sport was basketball. So I just started playing, and I went to my uncle. He lived in America at the time, and I was playing a bit over there over summer. So I'm gonna stay with it. And then I played for East London Royals under 18. I went to Barking Abbey as well, and then played for quite a few London teams. And joined Hemel about in 2012, I believe.
Right.
2011, 2012 season. Yeah.
And not looked back since.
Had a stint overseas and came back.
Where did you play overseas?
In France.
Okay, cool. Brilliant. Mike, come to you next.
I first made my first basket when I was 3 years old.
Full size, full height, or one of the mini ones?
No, on the 10-foot one, the real 10-foot one.
Nice.
Then I started playing seriously at I don't know, like the grades out here. I get confused sometimes. So I was 7 years old when I started playing like organized basketball. I played for this legendary team called the Riverside Hawks, where a lot of NBA alumni play for them in the past. I went to high school, played for a high school named Bishop Loughlin. And then I took my talents. I went to college. I played for Rutgers University. Before that, I played for the USA team and played in the Albert Schweitzer tournament in Germany, where we lost to Italy for a second in the championship game. Then I went to Rutgers, and then came to Hemel for the last 2 years, and it's been a good experience so far.
Awesome. And the crowd and it was NCAA 1, yeah?
Yeah.
The crowd compared to over there to over here?
To be honest, since like I'm used to that kind of crowd, like my high school was like that. It was compacted, but it was still it held a lot of people. So last year, it was I felt at home, to be honest. Awesome. It wasn't like Rutgers where having 10,000 people, but it was still I still felt at home, to be honest.
Hey Levi, if you could That's not. I mean, it's been a journey, right?
Yeah, so I've been
Sound
around
old, bro.
basketball. Yeah. I've been around basketball like my whole life. My dad actually played for Hemel. He started at Hemel because I'm from Luton. It's a local town. But I've always been around basketball with my dad and always followed my dad around. But I wasn't really into it when I was younger. I didn't really start playing properly until I was about year 7, year 8. But I was always around it. Always went to my dad's games. I was one of the kids that always went at halftime and shot around and stuff like that. But I didn't really get into it till I was about year 7. And then I didn't really play in school either. There wasn't really a school team, but my dad took me to a Essex and Hearts, London Leopards. They used to be called London Leopards, but they turned to Essex and Hearts. I went to that team when I was around 11, 12. And I really just fell in love with it there. Before then, I was just always playing outdoors, and I was always tall. I never really had a growth spurt, so I always used to play the older ages. So when I was 11, 12, I played under 15s. When I was 13, 14, I played under 16s, and then when I got to 16, I went over to America, went to high school, went to college over there. That was great. I was over there for 6 years. And then I came back to England, and then I've played pro and semi-pro for the last 8, 9 years. And in 2017, I think it is 17, 18 season, I was at Hemel. We didn't do great that year, but I enjoyed the fan base. I enjoyed everybody else there. And then I had a stint overseas in Italy last year. Then obviously COVID hit everybody, came back during the year, and then this year I rejoined Hemel. So,
and again, playing in Europe is it fanatical? Is it what's it like there?
Italy was amazing. Just the fan base is there. They're crazy about basketball in Italy. The food was obviously fantastic.
Awesome.
The culture for basketball was just amazing. It's just there are people a lot more passionate about basketball there, and it shows in a lot of things.
But not as passionate as Storm fans, obviously.
No, obviously not. Yeah. So yeah, that's kind of my journey to today. Yeah.
Thank you, Teo.
Cool. So well, basically, I only started playing basketball because one of my best friends now said I couldn't make the team when I was in school. So I decided to go to the trials, got made starting point guard over him. I know no one can believe I was a point guard back in year 7, but yeah, I was starting point guard. But I only started playing for a junior team when I was 15. So I only had 2 years at junior before moving over to Manchester. I'm playing for the Manchester Magic for 3 years. So I was there until 21 and then headed over to Newcastle. And I played there with a great coach, Ian Hewitt, for 2 years. And then went over to the other side of Newcastle to play for another year for Northumbria. I knew I wasn't going to stay there for too long, and I wanted to experience what that D1 team was like at Northumbria. So that was a good opportunity. And then after that, went down south to Southampton. I played at Solent with Matt Guyman. Yeah, was there for 2 years. Was there for 2 years. You know, you see what they're doing now. They've become a dominant force, but you know, we want to try and knock that down. Yeah.
Great. What about yourself?
Yeah, I started playing ball when I was 14. Prior to that, I was a baseball player. I played baseball all the way up to when I was 17 years old. I had to quit because I was about to go to college. I made the varsity team at Abraham Lincoln High School, where a lot of professionals came out of. Lance Stevenson went there, Stephon Marbury went there, Sebastian Telfair went there. So I went there I played on varsity for 3 years. And then after that, I went to community college in Kansas. Won the regional championship over there. Went there for 2 years, did my thing. Then I transferred to Pace University. Made it to the playoffs my senior year. And then, yeah, now I'm here at Hemel Storms last 2 years.
Awesome.
Had a great time, great experience.
And again, you were D2, right? So Mike was D1,
I was D2.
D2.
Yeah, D2.
That's kind of.
Right.
It doesn't mean you were D2. I mean, it's hard in D2, isn't it?
Yeah, it's tough. It depends on a conference, honestly speaking. Drew's daughter goes to she plays for her team plays for in my conference, and our conference is pretty tough. Yeah, her school is pretty good too. So.
Cool, bro. Thank you. So, just give us a bit. I mean, some of you, Teo, you've not played in front of a Storm crowd yet, am I right?
No, not yet.
Okay, but have you ever played at?
I love it. I loved playing against Hemel. The crowd was insane. Like it was, you always look forward to that game. And yeah, it's been a shame this year that I haven't been able to experience it.
And what does that mean, playing in front of a live crowd to you?
Well, personally, I feed off it. Like I get a massive buzz from it. Anyone that's seen me play just knows how much energy I have all the time. So it's like, just having that crowd there just gives you that extra bit of boost. You hear the bench, you hear our bench, and you feed off that. So imagine 1,000 people behind you as well. That just gives you the extra boost that you need.
Cool. Well, Levi, so you went and then came back.
Yeah.
Again, what did the Storm crowd mean to you?
I mean, it means everything. The energy, it's just the energy at home games was always amazing. Like it was always, they pretty much lifted us through like a lot of sticky situations in a lot of games. So it's just this year's we've felt them from at home, and we've heard all the support and stuff, but it's not been, there's no two ways about it. It's not been the same. But yeah, it's just loved it. It's just the passion and the energy was always at home games, and always the fans coming up to you after the game, signing the signatures is a part of the game. We all miss, really.
I'll come to Mike and Greg in a minute, but Bode, so you've been here the longest out of the guys. So over the years, has the crowd always been the same? Has it got more energy? How's the experience for you grown?
Yeah, I feel like I miss the crowd. We miss the crowd so much. I feel like at this point, like over the years, I feel like the knowledge of the crowd has got, like they know what airball is. They we screaming airball against the opposition. They know where's the people put in the game. They know to keep quiet during free throws. So I feel like the knowledge of basketball definitely spread out, and I feel like that's the crowd. About crowd, especially the Hemel Storm crowd. I feel the knowledge is good. It's definitely over the years I've been here. That's one of the biggest things I've noticed. From our crowd, and just the knowledge of the game is getting high.
And it's helped us, helped you guys sometimes in, when it's really tough, getting on the opposition. They get a pretty free ride if things are going well for them right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely big time. I mean, I remember the crowd that we had during the semi-finals before our playoff finals, I think in 2017. With the same people we had to play in the semi-finals. The amount of energy was amazing. So definitely missed that this year. It's all our motto this year was to create our own energy. But it's definitely hard about the crowd there, which we miss so much. But we got just miss it.
Mike, come to you now. Obviously, you played in. I mean, what's the biggest crowd you've played in front of, Mike?
17,000.
17,000. So 450, 500 at a Hemel Saturday night. Do we make as much noise as 17,000? There's only one answer here.
To be honest, yeah, it really is. Like even though the crowd is not as big as I was used to when I was in college, it still reminds me of the times where I used to play in high school in those gyms, and like the crowd is on top of you, and like they just, the energy that you feed up, the energy, like the fans are like the sixth man on the court. They feed up. We feed up the energy, and when especially like when we make a big run, it gets loud. It can get loud in the sports space. So it's just as loud, to be honest.
Cool. What do you find? Are the crowds in the UK as knowledgeable as US crowds? What's the kind of the difference you find? What's the thing that stands out?
Honestly, man, I think just the interaction with the fans, like after the game and stuff like that, the amount of love that they give you, after the game, win or lose, what I'm saying? It's always the same. It's consistent throughout, whatever the result is, I feel, what I'm saying? The fact that the kids come up to you asking for your autograph and, so into the game, so involved, it's amazing to me. And I think that was the biggest thing from last year that I missed, just after the game, seeing the little kids and the parents and the fans coming up to you and asking for your autograph and good job today, even though I didn't play the best. You know what I'm saying? It's cool. Like that's the thing I admire and I miss the most about the fans, to be fair.
Straight back to you, Greg. What's the coolest, and it doesn't have to be the most famous, the coolest place you played basketball? And this question's coming to everyone.
Coolest place I've ever played basketball would have to be at Rucker Park outside in New York City. It's a very famous, legendary park in New York City. At the time, they had hardwood floor on the basketball court. It was an outdoor court, had hardwood floor in it.
Wow.
And it was super cool, man. The announcer was saying my name, you know what I'm saying? My parents was there. I played really well. It was just a great atmosphere, and that was probably one of the coolest places I've ever played at before.
Levi, come to you next.
Probably I'd have to say the O2 Arena. I had a stint with Leicester Riders, and we went to a lot of finals when I was there. And every time I went to the O2 Arena, which was the playoff final, it was an amazing experience. Even just from walking in the changing rooms, everything from start to finish when you go to the O2 Arena.
And what kind of crowd would that have been in front of?
I just know it's big. I don't even know.
Big. All the way up the side.
I don't want to put a number out there and be wrong. I don't know, but it's yeah. And it was pretty packed. Most finals are packed. So yeah.
Bode, let's come to you next.
I think it was probably played the K54 tournament in France. Probably one of the best street ball basketball I've been involved. Like, it was literally, like, you got celebrities, you got games, you got professional athletes, you got NBA players. Yeah, it was really, really K54. If you ever get a chance to go, I think you should definitely go. It was really nice, really cool.
Mike?
Madison Square Garden.
In Madison Square Garden, not outside, inside.
Not inside. Where the Knicks play. Definitely, that's probably the best experience I've ever been a part of. Just playing with like all the people you admire play that. So that was pretty cool.
And who was that for?
That was for Rutgers.
Right. Teo, that's a tough one to come up on, but you're going to be here.
I was going to say, that's pretty tough to follow. When I was a junior, we went out to Germany for a little tour, basketball tour competition thing, and we played at the Alba Berlin Arena, wherever they play at, which was really cool for us because it was like our first time seeing something like that, experiencing, the massive stadium, the change rooms and everything. And it was pretty good experience.
Are you young? How old were you then?
So we were 17 at the time.
Okay.
So 17. Around 17.
Not a lot of people have a pre-game ritual, food they eat, something they put on, an item of clothing. Let's hear your quirky ones. Let's go straight back to you, Teo. You look like you enjoyed this question.
Okay, so I have a playlist. I can't even say what my playlist is.
Oh dear.
Let's just say I have a lot of old school R&B corny songs that I wouldn't play in the changing room. And sometimes I'm sitting by the bench when I do my little pre-game stretch, and I'm listening to a song in my ear, and I'm just laughing to myself because I'm like, if my teammates knew what I was listening to, I'll probably get a bit of a grilling. But
I get it, right.
I
believe I can fly.
You nasty.
Mike, what's your pre-game ritual?
To be honest, I listen to gospel music, and then I walk around the court and say, I do a circle prayer around the court. Basically, a circle prayer is something that you pray over something that you want to manifest and something that you want to like have in your life, and I just walk around the court.
Awesome. Bode, come to you next.
Pre-game ritual. I don't know if I have one, but I do. When I get in change, about keeping it PG, I might probably take off all of my clothes and put it on. You doesn't wear take the t-shirt off and then put the vest on and take the trousers. I have to take it all off and then put it all on. That's a
Wait, what?
Wait, what? Normally it's a sock. You just do the whole clothes.
Yeah, the whole.
As long as you not like Wally, bro.
Levi,
Yeah.
let's come to you next. Beat that one.
I don't really have a pre-game ritual either, to be fair. I don't really a lot of people listen to music, but I don't really listen to music. I never have. The one thing I do is I'll always eat salmon and pasta. Like that's kind of like a go-to meal. I normally eat before a game.
Greg, you got a pre-match ritual, I'm hoping.
Just really good music, honestly speaking. Good music and a prayer. That's really it. And the music got to be kind of like really good for me. If I'm singing along and I'm nodding my head, I'm pretty sure they heard me. They see me doing it. I get really amped up and into the game, and then a nice little prayer before the game. Just wishing everybody, safety and wishing us the best and guidance, things of that nature. That's it, really. That's my ritual, to be fair. That's it.
Great. Thank you. Okay, last question. Difficult one because the season's still going. So I just want to kind of, can you pick something out of this season, a highlight? It might be a play, it might be something that's happened in the club, it might be something that's happened in the team, but just, one highlight from each. I'm going to come to you first, Mike. Just the one thing that stood out this season so far.
The one thing that stood out to me is I'll never forget Mateo got in trouble with that ref for no reason. That was the funniest thing ever. He got in trouble with the ref for no reason. That was like it was crazy. But then the next game he had like 7 threes in a row. So like that, I'll never forget that.
Okay, Bode, the one highlight this season, or a highlight, the highlight.
The highlight. I feel about trying sounding too much like a teacher's pet, but I feel like the expansion of Hemel Storm YouTube channel, obviously with yourself and Graham doing the commentary. I remember way back before this season, I used to watch games, but I watch games it's like white silent and we were doing something else. But now I like to sort of listen to to the excitement and what you guys are saying, really. So I feel like that's just the growth. I think just the growth, especially these times where there's no fans, so you kind of miss that interaction, but you sort of gain it from listening to Hemel Storm TV and those videos that the fans do. I think that goes a long way. It goes a long way and definitely helps.
We're now calling them the Mike Williams good luck video.
Oh yeah,
Right?
the dancing mum, yeah.
Oh yeah.
We got a few for tomorrow. It's a lot of Mike. That's brilliant, Bode. Thank you. Appreciate the response. Levi.
My highlight is like the beginning of the season when we was going through the Lynch Trophy and going through all the games when we was in one venue at Oakland's. It was that's when it really didn't feel like a regular basketball season. And then I think our first away trip was to Cheshire in the BBL trophy, the trophy or cup or one of them. I think trophy. And then just the whole experience of getting back on a bus, like traveling up north, like just all joking around on the bus, like MJ and LeBron conversations, like all of that is just like that was really a highlight for me because it's just like that's when the season started to feel somewhat normal again.
Just getting with your teammates.
Yeah, just coming out of COVID and coming out of obviously the crazy year that happened. And just since then it's felt a little bit more normal and a little bit more like a season and just the team coming together and talking all the way up. And even though we lost, it was just a good like team building time. Like it when we really got to know each other. That was one of my highlights for me.
Okay.
Wait, hold up, Simon, MJ, LeBron.
Don't start that debate.
MJ. I mean, I only know MJ. Greg, your highlight of the season so far.
Levi really stole mine, but it's I'm gonna have to just go with the chemistry between us. Like, not even obviously on the bus rides and stuff like that too, but even after practice, after the games and stuff like that in the locker room, joking around, listening to music and things of that nature. That's just been amazing. You know what I'm saying? It's been a lot of fun. it's been a journey. You know what I'm saying? This season has been very long, but I feel like we're so much together now as a team. We grew together as players and as a team that I'm gonna miss it, man. To be honest, I'm gonna miss it, man. It was a lot of fun, a lot of laughs, a lot of joking around, and yeah,
That's great. Thank you for that insight. So Teo, leaving you to the final one.
Well, I was gonna say Levi took what I was gonna say. Our bus journeys are one of the best bus journeys you ever come across. Like we should definitely start like a YouTube series where we have all the different sections of the journey. We have Mike Williams prank calling people. We got our scenarios. Oh, we got scenarios that don't even make sense, but we're still debating for the next 2 hours. It's honestly one of the best things that you can have as a basketball team or a group of people that you can spend a lot of time with. It really, really built our chemistry, and I think without that, we still would have come where we are now. But it took us there. It took us to where we are right now, and it really helped. It really helped us, gain that chemistry that we didn't have at the start. And like Greg said, we're gonna miss it. Definitely gonna miss it. But apart from that, it's just shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone that's supported from the beginning, all the volunteers that have helped make sure everything went really smoothly throughout the season, and just everyone involved in the club. Like it's been a challenge just to get the season going in itself. So getting to this point now, like it's a massive achievement for everyone.
What a great way to end. That's superb. Once again, guys, I know it's your Friday night. I really appreciate it. And I'm sure the Storm fans will appreciate your time taken out, just to touch base with them. I know they miss you. I miss the crowd. I miss getting that vibe from the crowd. But it's not too long. Hopefully next season starts, we're back there. Good luck tomorrow. I'll be getting names wrong and saying some wrong stuff all the way through, but that's my job. And let's hope we've got 2 more games to go. Thank you very much, all of you.
Thanks,
Thank
Simon.
you. That's it.
Thank you, Simon.